are from the Santa Clara County Fire Department. Your school is located in Los Gatos, is that correct? Yeah, so we're not called Los Gatos Fire. We are actually called Santa Clara County Fire Department because if there's an emergency here on campus, then we are your fire department. We're the ones that are going to come and help you out. And the reason why we're called Santa Clara County Fire Department is because we actually protect 7 different cities in the county. So Los Gatos is only one of the 7 cities. So we're not called Los Gatos Fire Department, we're called Santa Clara County Fire Department. And now I'm sure you've all have seen us driving around in our big red fire engines. Are they red?
Some are yellow, some are white.
Oh, actually all of our fire engines and our fire trucks and our hazmat trucks, they're white. All of them are white. So that's another distinction about our fire department is that all of our rigs are white. So if you see us driving around town, we want you to wave because we're going to wave back to you, okay? So now the name of our assembly this afternoon is called Life and Fire Safety because we're going to teach you some very important skills that can save your life, okay? And so at the end of this next hour, you're going to know 8 different ways to keep yourself safe. So everyone put up 8 fingers. 8 different ways. But before we start, can everyone say hi to Firefighter Peter?
Hi, Peter.
And everyone say hi, Firefighter Andrew. And my name is Gina. Okay, so now this assembly is going to include some skits. Okay, so if we tap on your shoulder and say, come with me, that means we need your help because we can't do this alone. So you can actually help teach your friends how to be safe on that particular skill that we're going to ask you for your help. Now you don't have to participate, but we would love it if you would because there's a lot of us here today. So we are going to try to get as many of you involved as possible, okay? We're going to have some jokes. We might call on you if you have a joke. If you do, then we'll let you know when we need you. And then we're also going to have some magic. Who likes magic? Ooh, I love magic. Okay. What? Yeah. Okay. So this is our magic bag. Everyone say ooh. Ah. Okay. So we have nothing inside our bag, but I am holding a red scarf, and then I also have 7 other scarves over here on this table. And what these scarves represent are the 8 skills that we're going to teach you. So as we move through the assembly, about every 2 skills or so, we're going to have somebody come up, and they're going to put those scarves in our magic bag, and they're going to do some magic and say a joke. Then at the very end of the assembly, how many scarves are we going to have in our bag? 8. Very good, we're listening. So then somebody's going to have a really important job to do some magic and reach into our bag and pull out 1 scarf, and that represents the most important skill we taught you here today. Okay, but that's going to come way at the end. Does everybody understand our magic bag? All right, excellent. Now we do have 3 very important rules before we begin. Okay, Firefighter Andrew, do you want to cover rule number 1?
Yes, rule number 1, and probably the most important rule you're going to learn today, is that if I'm talking, nobody's talking.
Okay, so that's rule number 1. Firefighter Peter, do you want to cover rule number 2?
I'd love to. Rule number 2 is even more important than rule number 1. It's probably the most important of the 3 today, and that's if myself or Firefighter Gina or Firefighter Andrew are talking, nobody else is talking.
Okay, so that's rule number 2. And rule number 3 is just as important as if I'm talking or if any of the other firefighters are talking, then absolutely no talking. They're the same thing? Then that means they must be important, okay? So, because if you're talking, then that means you're not listening. And if you're not listening, you're not going to learn these important skills to keep yourself safe. So again, we are going to be together for the next hour, and we're going to move very fast in order to teach these 8 skills to you, okay? So we do want you to listen. We want you to share this information with your friends who aren't here today and your family, especially your parents. And now, speaking of parents, we've given your teachers a bag of goodies. And teachers, these bags are yours to keep. If you have aides in your classroom, let us know. We have extra bags because that's all we need is more reusable bags. inside this bag, every classroom is getting a set of materials. And the first thing that you're going to bring home is a newsletter so your parents can read up on some of the safety skills that we teach you here today. You're also getting a fire safety activity sheet that has crossword puzzles and dot, and it's all about fire safety. And you're also getting a helmet handout. Okay, and this handout explains the importance of wearing a helmet every time you ride a bike, skateboard, scooter, or skates, and how to wear it properly. Because unfortunately, we go on emergency calls where kids your age are hit riding your bike, riding your skate or your scooters by a vehicle, and you may not have your helmet on properly, because helmets save lives every day in this country. Okay, so we need to make sure we wear our helmet properly. And then you're also getting a handout to bring home to your parents about pedestrian safety. And what a pedestrian is somebody who crosses the street. And this is another emergency call we do not like to go on when kids your age, or anybody for that matter, gets hit by a vehicle crossing a street. Okay, so we're going to teach you how to keep yourself safe while you're crossing the street. Okay, so that's going to be one of the skills here this morning, or this afternoon, excuse me. And then this is a little tiny handout, but this is good for your parents to read up on, because this is called 211. And what 211 is it's a 24-hour non-emergency helpline. Because in an emergency, what number do we dial? 911. And that's actually one of the skills we're going to teach you here today too. Everyone's getting a pencil. Everyone say yes. Okay. And everyone's getting a silicone wristband. Yes. Okay. And on this wristband, it says, safety starts with me, which means when you wear it, safety starts with you. Okay? So at the end of this assembly, you're going to have 8 different ways to keep yourself safe. And that's why we think it's really important that when you wear this, you got to remember to keep yourself safe. And also, our department website is on this wristband, so you can share that with your parents and log online and find out all the safety information we have online. Okay? I believe there's one teacher who didn't get a bag. If you didn't, we'll get you squared up at the end of the assembly. Okay, we have some helpers up here. What is your name? We have Samuel and Ellie, I believe, right? Okay. Samuel and Ellie are holding these large laminated flashcards, and what these flashcards represent are the skills that we're going to teach you, okay? So you don't need to worry, those of you in the back, because we actually have really big flashcards. Some of them are the same ones that they're holding that we're going to hold up so you can see as well, okay? And we'll make sure those of you in the back can see everything that we're doing up here, okay? So as we move through the assembly, they are going to help flip these cards to keep us on track so we can move through the 8 skills. Okay, does everybody understand? Are we good so far? Yes. All right. Well, I think we're ready to start. Are we ready to start, Firefighter Andrew?
I think we are.
Okay, so what I need is everyone to put up one finger. One finger. And what this represents is skill number 1. And you can see our cards up here say if your clothes catch on fire, whoops, we are going to do something. So Firefighter Andrew is going to talk about it.
All right, so skill number 1 today is going to be what to do if your clothes catch on fire. First thing we want you to do is stop. Everyone put your hands out. Stop. Drop. And roll. And as you roll, you're going to cover your face and make yourself long like a hot dog. But first, if our clothes catch fire, we have to know what's going on. So everybody touch your shirt. Everybody touch your shorts. Touch your hair. Touch your face. All this stuff can catch fire. And what we want to do is we'll make sure you guys get that fire out as quickly as possible. Now, fire needs oxygen to breathe. Everyone take a deep breath and blow out. So what you're breathing is oxygen. And just like you guys breathe it every day, that's what fire breathes. So what we want to do is get as little oxygen on the fire as possible. So if you're running around fire, like, oh, I'm on fire. All that is blowing more oxygen into the fire, making it bigger. So that's why we guys want you to stop as quickly as possible, drop to the ground, and roll, roll, roll. Because what that's going to do is going to put the fire out, okay? So I think we have some volunteers back here who are going to be helping us and demonstrating. But I need you guys to help remind them, because maybe they've never learned this before. I need you guys to help and teach them and tell them and show them with your hands what to do, okay? Nathan and Keith? Yep. All right, so they're going to be wearing balloons, which are going to be our fire. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to roll, 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 and put that fire out. So they're walking around, and all of a sudden they catch fire. What are they going to do? They're going to drop and roll. So we're going to have one guy go first, and it's just like you, and you're going to show us how to do it.
I'm going to stop where I'm at, I'm going to fall down on my belly, cover my face, and I'm going to roll back and forth.
Now you want to make sure you roll all the way over and all the way around, but not off the stage. Okay? All right, so you guys ready for this? Okay, so let's tell them. Ready?
Stop. Go ahead
Drop
and cover your
and roll.
No, make your body
Roll,
long.
roll, roll. Make
Keep
yourself
rolling,
long.
keep
Cover your
rolling,
face.
keep rolling.
Cover your face.
Keep
Cover your
rolling,
face.
Keep rolling. Back the other way. Back the other way. Keep rolling.
Keep
Keep
going,
rolling.
keep going, keep
Keep
going.
rolling. Back the other way. Back the other way. Good job. Okay. Good job. That was good. You covered your face. Excellent. All right. So can you pick up all the balloons?
Yes,
Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, so just like firefighter Andrew just taught you, everyone touch your shirt. Touch your shorts or your pants or your socks or your shoes if any of this catches on fire. It is incredibly important that you stop no matter where you are. It doesn't matter the ground surface, carpet, linoleum, hard, cement, it doesn't matter. You're going to get down to the ground as soon as possible, make your body long like a hot dog, and cover your face. Okay, so that was skill number 1. Now let's move to skill number 2. So our helpers, thank you. Okay. Now, skill number 2 is what our flashcard says up there is if you find matches or lighters, we're going to tell or give them to an adult. Okay? So firefighter Peter's holding up a sign here that has pictures of different kinds of matches and lighters. So you can see this large picture up top. Those are all different types of lighters. Okay? And there's lighter fluid inside them. And then here's matches. We have 2 different kinds of books of matches. And then this is another type of lighter. Now, matches and lighters have one job. One job. What is their job? Okay, to light fire. Okay, that's what they make fire. That's their job. So if their job is to make fire, do you think these are safe or dangerous to play with? Dangerous. These are very dangerous to play with. If these get into the wrong hands, okay, it can be very dangerous. Now, are matches and lighters toys or tools? Tools. They're tools. And they're tools for grown-ups. Okay? Your mom, your dad, your teacher, grandma, grandpa. There's lots of adults around you. Okay? So these are important tools to have at home. But should these be just sitting out on your kitchen counter? No. Should they be sitting on your mom's bathroom counter? No. Okay? These need to be kept in a safe place. Children under the age of 5 are in the highest risk group. And what that means is if they find matches and lighters, they don't know what to do with them. Okay? And they may start a fire, hurt themselves, or hurt their families. So it's important, especially for you older students, that you help keep your family safe. Remind your parents to put these in safe places in the home. Okay? Now, because matches and lighters make fire, fire is very important for us. We actually can't live without fire because fire can cook our food, it can keep us warm, and it gives us light. So fire is important for us. But that's when fire is good. Now, if fire were to hurt something, that's when fire turns bad. Okay, so we're going to show you some photos, and in these photos, there's going to be fire. Now, if you think the fire in the photos is safe or a good fire, I want you to do thumbs up. Okay, no talking. And then if you think the fire in the photos is dangerous or bad, I want you to do thumbs down. Okay? So firefighter Andrew, you want to start with the first one?
Yeah, here's the first one. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, so we have a gas stove. Lots of houses have have these types of stoves in the kitchen. Now, when you turn on the stove, you actually see fire. Is this fire hurting anything? No. What it's doing is it's cooking the food. Okay, shh, I'm not asking you to talk. It's cooking the food that's in this pot. Okay, should we play in the kitchen? No. Okay, so the kitchen's not a safe place to play in your home. Okay, I'm going to show you one. What about this one? Is this one thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, so this is a wildland fire. Now what happens with this, we're in a major drought right now, which means our land is very dry. And when our land is dry, it can catch on fire fairly quickly. And when it does, it actually spreads really fast and it hurts the houses, the trees, and the animals that live on this land. Okay, so if matches and lighters get in the wrong hands, they can start this type of fire. Very good.
Next one.
What do we have
We have
here?
It's like a camping trip, right?
Campfire. Is that a good fire or a bad fire? Good fire. So I told you earlier, campfire. So that's one way we can stay warm. And it can cook our food, roast our marshmallows. Okay, what about this one? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Very good, thumbs up. So this is a barbecue fire. This is another way we can cook our food. Adults need to use barbecues. Is it safe to play around the barbecue? No, we don't ever want to play around the barbecue. Very good. Trash can fire, safe or dangerous? Dangerous. That can spread really quickly. Okay. How about a toaster that's on fire? Okay. So this probably started out okay. Put the bread in the toaster, and then it caught fire. This would be a bad fire because that flame is hurting that toast, and it can actually spread along the wall of the kitchen and catch the house on fire. Okay, excellent. So, oh, you have one more? Okay. So a house fire. Is that fire hurting anything? Yes, it's hurting that house. So that would be a bad fire. And the last one, which is one of the favorites. Okay. Okay, so mom and dad should light the candles, or an adult should light the candles on the cake when we celebrate. Your only job is to blow them out. We should never touch the flame. It can burn you. Okay, so we need to be careful, but that is a good fire because it's not hurting anything. Okay, excellent. So now you know the difference between safe and dangerous fires. I hope you know that matches and lighters, these are important tools to have, but we need to make sure they get into the right hands, okay? So what we're going to do, and I think I told you earlier, is that if you do find matches and lighters, we need to give them to a grown-up or an adult, okay? So do we have some friends here who are going to show us what we need to do?
We do. We have Cassandra and Matthew.
Cassandra and Matthew.
And we're going to go on a walk to the park.
Oh, cool. You're going to the park. All right.
All right,
Parks are
guys.
fun. Yep.
Let's go play some basketball or baseball or something.
All right.
Some matches. Oh no. What's that one there? Lighter. What should we do with them? Let's give them to an adult. Let's find an adult to give them to.
Okay, so did they do the right thing and give them to a grown-up? Yeah, let's give them a hand. Sure. You want to just lift it? Okay, excellent. So we just taught you 2 skills. So now I think it's time for some magic. We need to do some magic. Let's go way over here. Do you have a joke? If you don't have a joke, come on. I got a list of jokes. Come on up. What's your name? Miriam. Everyone, let's give a hand to Miriam the magician. Will you put these away, please? Okay, Miriam. You need to do some magic with our tiny itty bitty baby magic wand. Now, Miriam, is there anything in our bag?
No.
No, there isn't. Okay, so Miriam, this red scarf is skill number 1. If your shirt or your skirt catches on fire, what are you going to do?
Just stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. Very good. And you're going to cover your face with your hands. Put that red one in our bag. Now this light pink one is skill number 2, matches and lighters. Are they toys or tools?
They're tools.
They're tools for grown-ups. Very good. What are you going to do if you find them?
Give them to an adult.
Give them to an adult. Put that in our bag. Wave the wand over our bag. Say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Pokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time
for the very first jokey.
the very first jokey.
Okay.
Why is a math book so unhappy?
Why is a math book so unhappy? I don't know. Why?
Because it's full of problems.
Because it's full of problems. Let's give her a hand. Thank you. They're underneath.
Okay, so now we are on skill number 3. Okay, so skill number 3. How many of you drove to school this morning? You guys drove? Man, nice. So what we're going to talk about today, how many of you wore your seatbelts? Just hands, no talking. Hopefully everybody's hand should be raised that you had a seatbelt on the way to work or school. Because us in the fire engine, we aren't allowed to even open the garage door until we have our seatbelts on. We can't even put the car in drive until we have our seatbelts on. Otherwise, all of these alarms go off inside of our fire engine and tell us that we cannot move. Okay? It's very, very important that we wear our seatbelts, especially when you guys are so little. We want to make sure you guys are safe, okay? So everybody touch these bones right here. Really hard, right? These are called your clavicle or your collarbones. And these are a very, very strong part of your body. And everybody reach down here and touch these really hard bones right on the top of your hips. Okay? These two are really, 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 really hard and really, really strong. So what we want to do is we want to make sure the seatbelt comes down across our collarbone, and then the lap belt comes across those hips. Everybody touch your stomachs. Are they rock hard? No. If it's anything like mine are on now, I've been eating too much candy, right? So we want to make sure that we keep the seatbelt below our stomach and above our thighs. We want them right across those hip bones, okay? And right across our clavicle or our collarbones. This is the strongest way to have and to be seated in the seat. So I'm going to have Peter here demonstrate how to get in and out of a seat and why we do it. So can you put the lap belt on for me, please? Yep. So you got to go nice and slow. If you go too fast, what happens? It locks up, right? So I want to make sure you go nice and slow. And everybody listen. If you don't hear that click, that means you're not using the right part or you're not in all the way. We got to make sure we hear the click. Now, we have to make sure we come down across our clavicles, remember the hard part, and across our hips. Now what we want to do is we want to take some of the tension off and make it as tight as possible. Not so that we can't breathe, but just so that we're not going to go anywhere. Now if he gets into a car accident and tries to move forward real quick, what happens? Oh, he doesn't go anywhere, right? It's perfect. These things are supposed to lock up. That's what they're designed to do. Now, how many of you have had it where, just by raising hands, where it hurts your neck, kind of scrapes, right? It doesn't feel very good. Now, everybody be honest, how many of you take your hands and put them through like that so it doesn't hurt anymore? That's not safe, because now what happens, if we get a car accident now, what happens? He can go anywhere. He can go out the window. He can go to the side. He can go forward, hit his head on the dashboard, on the chair in front of him. That's very, very unsafe. Because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to hit your head, but it also hurts all the important organs inside your stomach, that really soft part we talked about, because it's not coming across his clavicle anymore. So what you can do is some cars you can adjust so that this raises up and down. So you have to tell your mom or dad or grandpa or friend, whoever's driving, hey, this thing hurts my neck. I got to be safe. Move it for me, please. Or we can sit in a booster seat. And all this does is raises you up and allows that thing not to hit your neck. Now, who thinks these things aren't very cool? Well, you guys are wrong, because we actually use booster seats in the fire engine. I know. But the coolest part of the job and the coolest person in the fire engine sits in the back seat and sits in a booster seat, and we're the guys who get to fight fire. And that's the coolest place to be. That's where you want to be driving or riding around. So we use booster seats every day because we want to be safe. Okay?
Jackson, who's going to help us.
Jackson's going to come show us how to do it.
Yep. All right, Jackson, go ahead and put that seatbelt on. You want to scoot all the way up in the seat? There you go.
Nice and slow. Now, remember, what's that bone called?
Clavicle.
The clavicle.
Let's listen. Okay, we heard that click. Now what happens is sometimes this belt, the lap belt, gets twisted. So we need to make sure it's not twisted. And so we're going to go and pull out. And then what happens, Jackson, is sometimes that gets too much slack there. So we need to make sure all that slack is out of the seat belt so it's nice and snug on your body. So if you pull it up here, it's going to snug it along the bottom there around your hips. And then it's going to snug it along. Is it across his chest? Yep. Is it over his shoulder or his clavicle? Yeah. Is Jackson buckled up properly? He is. So everyone's wave goodbye to Jackson. Bye, Jackson. All right. Let's give him a hand. Okay. Now the other part of this is actually where you should be sitting in the car. Now, we all know seatbelts save lives every day. It's a law. Laws are put into place to keep us safe. So we must abide by the laws. The other part of this is where you need to sit in the seat in the vehicle. And that's always going to be the back seat. Okay? So you are too small to be sitting in the front seat. And in fact, until you turn about 13 or 14, the safest seat is always going to be in the back seat. Okay? And there's a reason. Is because most vehicles are equipped or built with airbags. Do you know what airbags are? Yeah, so airbags come out of the dashboard and they come out of the sides of the car. And they're meant for adult bodies. They're not meant for children, okay? Because what happens is they come out so fast. I mean, it's like an explosion in the car. That's this big pillow. And it's meant for an adult body to take the impact of an accident. Okay? But they're meant for adult bodies. They're not meant for your little bodies. So until your body grows, the safest seat is always going to be the back seat. Always, always, always. So just like Jackson just showed you how to put on your seatbelt properly, you're going to do that in the back seat. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Yes. So Peter, we have a little saying, right?
Yeah, we do.
We have a little saying. So what I want my side to do, and there's a lot of you, is I want you to say, in the back. And then on Peter's side, I want you to say is where it's at. Okay, let's see my side. You guys ready? Okay. All right, give yourselves a hand. All right. Excellent job. Okay. So that was skill number 3. Everyone put up 4 fingers. Now we're moving on to skill number 4. Okay. Skill number 4 has to deal with pedestrian safety. How to be safe when crossing the street. Okay. So now we have a couple pictures here to show you, and Firefighter Peter's going to hold them up. Now there are markings on the street that help us figure out where we need to cross the street. Okay. Sometimes he needs a little help. Thank you for helping him. So have you seen these large yellow lines before? Yes. Okay, so there are lots of these large yellow lines, especially on busy intersections. But what's happening is now what we're starting to see is more markings on the street, lots of white paint, yellow signs, sometimes blinking lights. And the reason why that we're starting to see more is because that is to alert drivers that, hey, be careful, slow down, pedestrians are crossing here, okay? So if you see either of these types of crosswalks on the corner where you need to cross, that's where you need to cross. We don't ever want to cross in the middle of a street because a car may not see you, okay? So when you come up to these crosswalks, there's some things that you need to do in order to keep yourself safe, okay? The first thing that you need to do, like our cards say here, is you need to look both ways. And what that means is look left, look right, look left again. And what we're doing is we're looking for any sort of vehicle, any sort of trucks, anything that could potentially hit us, okay? Now, the other thing we need to do, besides just looking left, right, left again, is it's important that as a pedestrian, you don't become distracted either. Okay? Because we have lots of distractions nowadays. Do you think drivers are ever distracted? Yeah. Every day, all the time. Drivers, yeah. We see lots of people texting while driving. We see lots of people reading books while driving. You know, when we sit in the fire engine, we're up high. We can see into your cars. We can see who has seatbelts on. We can see who isn't properly. We can see what you're doing. And sometimes we see people not doing the right thing, okay? Reading newspaper, if you can believe that. A whole newspaper spread out, reading the paper while driving the car, okay? Now, as dangerous as that can be, that makes them distracted, which means that they're not going to be able to see you, okay? But you, as a pedestrian, you can become distracted too. So we need to make sure that you're aware of what you're doing when you cross the street. So I'm going to pretend that this is my sidewalk right here, okay? Like this is crossing the street, and that this is my crosswalk. Excuse me, it's my crosswalk. So just like that picture Peter was holding up, okay? I'm going to imagine that there's large white lines here, and this is where I'm going to cross the street. Now, before I cross the street, I need your help. What we need to do is we need to look left. So I want everyone's head to turn to and face that wall, and everyone say, look left. Look left. Now I want you to turn again and say, look right. Look right. And you're going to look left again. Okay, what we're doing is we're looking for vehicles, okay? Now, I've looked left, I've looked right, and now I'm going to look left again. So if I go into the street because there's no cars coming, do I walk like this? No, that's not very safe. Oh, I'm late doing my book reports. I'm going to read my book crossing the street. Is that safe? No. Oh, I know. I'm going to put my iPod on with my earphones and dance around in the street. Is that good? No. So again, as I explained, it's important that you are aware and you put your devices and your distractions down. Okay, what that means is put everything down, your head's up. Okay, so you need to be aware. So I'm going to look left, I'm going to look right, and I'm going to look left again. It's clear for me to cross the street. Now I'm going to step into the street, but I'm going to keep my distractions down and my head up. As I go into the street, I'm going to look from side to side, crossing quickly. And I'm not going to waste time inside the middle of the street. I'm going to get to the other side as quick as possible. Okay, so head up, and you need to look from side to side. So what Peter has here is, have you seen this red hand before? Yeah. Does that mean it's safe to cross? No. That means stop. Okay, don't cross the street. Then what we do is we push a button, okay, and we wait for the light to turn. And then when it turns, it gives us this sign. Now, what this sign means is now I have the right of way, meaning cars should be stopped for me, and I'm going to go ahead and cross the street. Okay? When you have this, but before I go into the street, what do I need to do? Everyone, help me out. Look left, look right, and look left again. And then I'm going to step in the street, keeping my head up, looking from side to side. Okay? Do we have some friends who are going to help us out?
All right. I need you. Come over this way. And you. Come this way. Nope, just two. Next time. All right.
Okay, so they have the button back there that they need to push, and so they're going to go ahead and push that button. Okay, so they push the button. They push the button. Now, is it safe for them to cross? No. No. Okay, so now this is where they need to wait patiently, and they wait, and they wait, and they push the button 500 more times, thinking that's going to do something, but it really isn't. But if it makes you feel better, that's okay. Okay? So then, now that, because they've been very patient, now it turns green and it gives them the walk sign. But what do they need to do before they cross the street? Okay, and then when they step into the street, what do they do with their head? Keep it up. So let's go ahead and walk. Oh, excellent job. Let's give your friends a hand. Good job. All right. So that's how we cross the street safely. It's important that you're not distracted either. Okay, so that was skill number 4. So now I think it's time for some magic. We need to do some magic. Who way back over here? Come on up. Yeah. Come on up. Oh, you already did it, honey. Did you already do it? Yeah, come on up. Okay, what's your name?
Sam.
Sam, come on over here. All right, Sam. We need a magic hat, Sam.
Teeny tiny magic wand.
Okay, Sam. Sam, so we just taught you 2 more skills. So skill number 3 was seatbelt safety. Where's the safest seat for you in a vehicle?
Back seat.
In the back seat. And then you need to make sure, right, that seatbelt goes over your shoulder and then low on your hips, right? Put that blue one in our bag. Now this black one is skill number 4. What do you need to do before you cross the street?
Look left, look right, look left again.
Very good. Look left, look right, look left again. And what do you do when you're in the street?
You keep looking left.
You keep looking and cross quickly. Excellent. Put that in our bag. Wave that magic wand. Say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time
for a super funny jokey.
for a super funny jokey.
Okay, do you have a joke?
No.
Okay, well, we got like some of the best jokes ever. Here you go.
What do you get when you cross a pair of pants with a dictionary?
What do you get when you cross a pair of pants and a dictionary? I don't know, what?
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants! Let's give him a hand. Good job. He needs a sticker.
Sticker. Gee, see, this is why I should be doing his job. All right, so now we are on to skill number 5. Everybody show me 5 fingers. Number 5. All right. So now Who knows what this is? Yes, very good. I know. All right, so very good. So it is a smoke detector or a smoke alarm. It is not a fire detector. Because what this thing does, I'm going to open it up, and he's going to have one on that side too, is that this little round circle here is something that's on your face. Everybody touch your nose. So this little thing right here is a nose. And its only job is to smell for smoke. It smells for smoke every single day, 365 days a year, as long as you keep changing the batteries. And its only thing it's doing all day long, again, is just smelling for smoke, not fire, okay? Now, does smoke go up or go down? It goes up, right? Because hot air rises, so smoke goes to the ceiling. So these things should be placed on the ceiling in every bedroom and in every hallway, and at least one on each floor of your house. So when you guys go home tonight, I want to make sure you guys have one inside your bedroom or just outside the door. Okay? So as you can see in this picture, what are these firefighters doing? They're ducking down or they're crawling, right? And we do that because this is where all the good air is and where we can see. Now this up here is that really, really dark, nasty, yucky smoke, and we don't want to be breathing that, and it's very, very hot and you can't see through it. So even us, in all of our special equipment, we get down really, really low and we find that good air, and that's where we crawl. And we're going to be teaching you guys how to do that in a little bit, okay? So the thing with smoke detectors is they run on batteries. So what do batteries do? They run out or they die, right? So what we want you to do on your birthday, the only present we want you to ask for is a 9-volt battery. Because this will be the most important gift you ever get. Because this thing, unlike the little Matchbox cars or anything else you want to get or the dolls or anything, this thing will save your life one day. Okay? So every year on your birthday, which means we change these once a year, we want you guys to ask for a battery and thank whoever gives them to you. Because they are the coolest person in your life. Okay? We want batteries everywhere. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do, I want to take your hands and everybody sit on your hands. Because I want you guys, we see a lot of kids, every time we pull one of these out, they all want to cover their ears. But we don't want you guys to be afraid of this sound. We want you guys to understand this sound and know what it's for and what it sounds like. So that at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, maybe during dinner time, when this thing goes off, you know exactly why. So we're going to press it. See, it's not that loud, but it's definitely loud enough to wake you up when you're sleeping or to alert you to know what's going on. Okay, now we don't want you guys to go running around the house trying to find out what's on fire or where the smoke's coming from. We want you guys to get out of the house as quickly as possible and go to a meeting place that you and your family have talked about. And we're going to talk about that again later as well. We don't want to come into a house one day and see these things hanging by the wires or maybe thrown underneath a bed because they're going off in the middle of the night. If these things are going off, it's for one of two reasons. One, there's smoke in the house. You may not be able to see it, but remember, this thing's job is to smell it. So it means that something's happening. But sometimes you hear the little chirp, and then maybe 5 minutes, chirp. And what that means is the batteries have gone dead, or they're getting low, and somebody hasn't given you a battery for your birthday in a long time. Okay? All right, so since these things are usually placed where? How do we check these? Because we need to check these every single month. So on the first of the month, you guys should be checking these and somehow. But how do we do them? Like, how can we get up there? A ladder? Yeah, you can use a ladder. Do you guys have a ladder around here? And plus, ladders are really dangerous. For us to climb a ladder, excuse me. For us to climb a ladder, we have to wear a helmet and all this special. Gosh, what else could we use, huh? A broom? Oh, okay, let's see.
Oh.
Firefighter Gina, can you use this? Can you test that for me? Is that right? The other slide? That's a joke we're going to say later. Oh, the other side of the broom.
Oh, this
Oh, this side. Okay, let's see if that'll work.
Because I have to push this button.
Push that little button
Okay,
right
push
there.
that button. Okay, let's see.
It's going to work. There we go. So that's how we can test it. That's all you have to do. Just hear for it to beep once or twice, and you're done your job for the month. Okay? So we want you guys to go home and talk to your parents. And on the first of the month, you guys have a new chore, and your chore is the best one in the house because you guys get to make noise. Okay? Once a month, and change the batteries once a year on your birthday. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to come around, and you guys are all going to have a chance. We need you guys to stay seated. Enjoy the music until it's your turn, okay?
There you go. Go ahead and do it together. You guys ready? Do it together. There you go. Go ahead and push it up there. Come on over here.
You want to try it?
Go ahead and do it together,
Yes,
guys.
do it together. Friendship.
Do it together. Go ahead and grab the broom together. There you go. There you go. Way over
Let's
here.
do 2 or 3 at a time. Stay seated though. Remember the rules. If you're standing, I'll skip you.
Excellent job. Do it together. I like teamwork.
Strong.
Good job.
Two of you at a time. Work together. Work together. There you go. Gentle, gentle. You're going to poke a hole in the roof and your parents are not going to be happy.
Good job.
Real gentle. Grab my broom, please. Okay, you 3 do it. You grab onto it, help them? Because they still too. No? Gentle, gentle.
Way over here.
You guys have them here, but they're
There
different
you
types.
go.
Oh,
Way
careful.
back over here.
Oh, you've been so patient.
There you go.
So, those of you who didn't get a chance to do it, guess what? You can try it every month for the rest of your lives. I thought
Okay.
I was more excited than that.
All right, excellent. So that was skill number 5. Our helpers, let's go ahead and turn the cards. Everyone put up 6 fingers. 6 fingers. Now we're moving on to skill number 6. Okay? Actually, skill number 6, these next 3 flashcards actually represent skill number 6, and I have them right here that are really large. Okay, so those of you in the back, don't worry. Okay, so we just learned smoke alarms, where do they live? Yeah, smoke alarms live up high. And the reason why they need to be up high is because smoke rises. Okay, so just like this picture, you see the smoke above the little boy? Okay, so if your house catches on fire, and that's what this skill is about. It's about home escape planning, making sure you're prepared, that you know what to do if your house catches on fire. Okay, so this skill, there's 3 components to it, or 3 parts to it. The very first one is we just learned that smoke goes up. So when smoke goes up, you go down. Okay, you need to be low on the ground. Now when I say low, I still mean up on your hands and knees. I don't mean you should be on your belly trying to slither like a snake, okay? Because you can't get out quickly that way. If your house is on fire, you need to get out as soon as you can. And that means up on your hands and knees, just like this little boy. Okay, he's crawling up on his hands and knees, and he's crawling low. Okay, so that's the first component of this, is crawl low and go. So I want you to say that, crawl low and go. Crawl low and go. Now, where you go is to an exit. Okay, and this boy went to his front door. Okay, so a door is one type of exit. So if you look at my next picture here, okay, so I want you to, let's see, put up 1 finger if you have a door in your bedroom. Does everybody have a door? I see everybody putting up 1 finger. You don't have a door? Oh, you do. Okay, good. Okay. If you're talking, that means you're not listening and you're going to miss out. Okay? So I asked you to put up 1 finger for a door. I want you, no talking. I just want you to put up a 2nd finger if you have a window in your bedroom. Okay, so you have 2 exits out of your room. Okay? If one is blocked, you're going to go out your other exit. Now, we're always going to try the door first. The door is the easiest way in and the easiest way out of your bedroom. Okay? Now, this is where I'd like to take a moment to stress the importance of sleeping with your door shut. And I know some of you are like, ooh, that's a little too scary for me. But the reason is because when you sleep with your door shut, it acts as a very good barrier between you and the smoke and the fire. Okay? So if this is your door and it's shut and your house catches on fire, that smoke's going to travel along the ceiling and then it's going to slowly start to come down. And what it's going to do is it's going to bounce off your door. It actually cannot go through your door. It can seep under your door in that crack, but it can't go through your door. If your door is open, because you sleep with it open at night, then what happens is that smoke can come right in, followed by the flame, okay, or the fire. So when you sleep with your door shut, that acts as a very important barrier. and it's going to give you time to get out of your house. Okay? So please try to sleep with your doors shut all the way, and you need to tell your parents they need to do the same thing. Their doors need to be shut. Your brothers and sisters' doors need to be shut too for that reason. Okay? So now, if you hear the smoke alarm go off, okay, I want you to get off your bed, get down low on your hands and knees, and I want you to crawl to the door, just like this little boy did. And he crawled to the door, and now he's feeling the door with the back of his hand. What he's feeling for is heat. Okay? If your house is on fire, the smoke and the flame are going to be very hot. Okay? Smoke is just as hot as fire. So if it's on the other side of this door, and this door is hot, is that a safe exit? No. No. So that's where we want to keep that door shut. Now we need to go to your second exit. Okay, and those of you who sleep on the first floor, you do not walk upstairs every night to bed. Now you're going to go to your window. You're going to open up your window, slide it open, push it up, crank it open, however you open your window. Then you're going to have a screen on your window, yes? Yeah. The screen is only there to keep bugs out. It's not meant to keep you in, okay? So we don't want bugs in our house, and that's why we have screens on our windows. Screens are only wedged in, okay? They should not be screwed in, painted in, or anything. So when you take your hands and you push really hard, you can actually pop that screen out. So when you pop out the screen, it's going to fall to the ground. You hike your leg over the windowsill and you just jump down. Now this is on the first floor only, okay? And then once you're out, then you go to the front of your house, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. How many of you walk upstairs every night to bed? Show me with your hands. Okay, so usually about half. Okay, so those of you who walk upstairs every night to bed, now your escape becomes different because you're higher. We don't ever want you to jump. You can hurt yourself really bad, okay? So your smoke alarm goes off. You get down low. You're going to crawl to your door. You're going to feel your door first. If it's cool, go ahead and open it, and then try to get down the stairs to get out of your house quickly, okay? If the door is hot, that means smoke or fire on the other side. Keep that door shut. This is very important. You want to keep that door shut. Now, smoke can seep in, okay, in this crack right here. So if you can remember, you want to stuff that crack. Grab your bedspread off your bed, a sweatshirt, your pillow, whatever you have, and stuff it so the smoke can't come underneath your door, okay? Then you're going to go to your window. Now, this is a second-story window. You're going to open up your window, slide it open, push it up, crank it open. You're going to pop out that screen. Now you have two options right now. If you have an escape ladder in your room, which those of you who sleep on the second floor should, okay, you're going to hook the escape ladder on the windowsill here. You're going to hike your leg over and then slowly crawl down the ladder. But most families don't have escape ladders. And that's okay, but now you're trapped in your room. Okay, so make sure that door is shut and you've stuffed that crack of the door. So now you're going to go to your window, open it, pop out that screen, and now this is very important. This is where you're going to signal for help. Okay, so you're at your window. I want you to pop out that screen, and I want you to wave your hands as hard as you can, scream as loud as you can, help, help, I'm over here. Now, if you have a phone in your room, of course we want you to call 911, which we're going to talk about the next skill. Okay. If you don't have a phone, your only other option is to wait at that window. You're going to signal for help. You're going to yell, you can wave a white shirt, something that's bright. If you have a flashlight in your room, keep a flashlight next to your bed, wave it. Because what happens is the captain of the crew that's coming to your house, it's like your teacher, they're in charge of the crew, they do what we call a perimeter check, which means they're walking around the house and they're listening and they're looking to see if we can see people who are trapped, okay? So if you're waving, help, 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 can we see you? Yeah. But what happens is kids your age get scared in a fire, which is understandable because if your house is on fire, it is a scary thing. And you want to hide. And you hide in your closet or you hide under your bed. Can we see you through the walls? No. We have no idea. So unless you signal for help, unless you tell us that you are trapped, we don't know you're in there. Okay, so if you don't have an escape ladder and you're up in the second or third level, you need to signal at the window. Does everybody understand that? Okay, and then we're going to rescue you first. That's the first and foremost thing that we're going to do, is if we know people are trapped, before we even fight the fire, we're rescuing. we're going in for in rescue mode, and we're going to try to save everybody first before we fight the fire. Okay? Now the next part, which helps us do just that, is having a meeting place outside in the front yard. Okay, so this is the third component of home escape planning. Because what happens is, let's say your parents go out the front door, and you go out the side where your window's over here, and your brother goes out the back door. Are you all exiting different areas? Are you together? No. So then what you do is you all meet up at a meeting place in the front yard. This meeting place becomes crucial to help us determine if everybody's out safely. So you and your family need to discuss a meeting place outside. Did anybody happen to see our meeting place today? Oh, it's way in the back. And it's a tree conveniently labeled meeting place. How cool is that? Okay. So a meeting place can be a tree in your front yard. It could be your driveway. It can be a neighbor's house if you like those neighbors. It can be a lamppost. It can be a mailbox. Whatever you and your family decide as a stable object for the meeting place. Okay? So again, in this picture, it happens to be a lamppost. Okay? So if you and your family exit, if there's 4 people in your family and all 4 of you are standing at the meeting place, then you can let us know everyone's out. But if you get out and Dad is not there, do we need to know Dad's still stuck in the house? Absolutely. Okay, so that's why this meeting place becomes very important. Okay, so those are the 3 components. We're going to crawl low and go. We need 2 exits out of every room, and we need a meeting place in the front yard. Now we're going to put this together in a skit so you can see how this all plays out. Okay, so we have some helpers here. Peyton and Reagan. All right. Peyton and Reagan are sleeping. They had a marathon movie night. They watched a lot of movies and they popped a lot of popcorn, and now their bellies are full and now they're sleeping peacefully. But what happened is they forgot to unplug the popcorn poppers, so the house starts on fire. And when there's fire, there's always smoke. Okay, so smoke starts to enter the room. And then fire, starts to spread throughout the house. Now, thankfully, they went home after this awesome assembly they had at school and checked their smoke alarms, and the smoke alarm sensed smoke, okay? So when they heard the smoke alarm go off, they got off their bed, they crawled on their hands and knees, and they went to their bedroom door. They're going to feel it. They're feeling for heat. It's cold, so they can now safely open up the door. And now when they go through the door, they're going to turn around and close that door because we want to keep that fire and smoke from spreading. And now they're going to crawl to their front door of the house. And then once they get to the front door, they can run to their meeting place because now they made it out safely. Thankfully, their neighbors saw that their house is on fire and they called 911. And now, wait, I think I hear the fire department. Here they come.
Are you guys okay? Is everybody out? All right, high five. Good job.
Let's go put out the fire.
Let's go.
Okay. That was very exciting. Good job, Peyton and Reagan, that you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You stayed low, you went to the door, you got out, you shut the door behind you and ran to your meeting place. That's exactly what they should be doing, okay? So that was excellent. So now we already taught you 2 more skills. Now we're moving on to the very last 2 skills, but we need to do some magic, and I don't think we get somebody way in the back over here. Come on up. Yep, you. Is this Ella? Oh, hi, Ella.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, Ella. So we need to do some magic here. Ella, here's your wand.
Here's your sticker.
And there's your sticker. Put that on your shirt. Okay, Ella. So that means we already have 4 scarves in here. So now this turquoise one is skill number 5, which is smoke alarms. They save lives every day in this country. So how often should we test them?
Once a month.
Once a month. Good. How often should we change the battery?
Once a year.
Once a year. Put that turquoise in our bag. And now here's the purple one, and this is skill number 6, which I just taught you, which is how to get out of your house if it catches on fire. So are you going to run out or crawl out?
Crawl up.
And how many exits do you need out of every room?
2.
2. And what do we need in our front yard?
A meeting.
A meeting place. Put that in our bag. Wave that magic wand. Say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time
for Ella's jokey.
for my jokey.
Do you have a joke?
No.
Okay, we got it. I mean, these are like seriously some of the best jokes ever. This one's fun.
How do you make a tissue dance?
How do you make a tissue dance?
Where do I? Oh.
Okay, listen. Listen.
You put a little boogie in it.
You put a little boogie in it. All right, let's give her a hand. Good job.
Okay, moving right along. So now we are on number 7. Never hold up 7 fingers. 7, 7, 7. Lucky number 7. Okay, so if there's an emergency, what number do we call? Awesome. So that 911, and when you call, you're going to get 3 different types of help. The first type of help is the fire department. The second type of help is the police. So the police will come as well, and they're going to help you if you're ever hurt or injured or scared, or you think someone might be trying to get in your house. They come to everything. And what's the third type? An ambulance. Okay, so when you call 911, you could get all 3 of us coming to your house as quickly as possible. But the person on the end of the phone doesn't know where you live, and they're called a dispatcher. So when you call 911, someone's going to answer the phone and then say, 911, what is your emergency? And you guys need to tell them, oh, my house is on fire, or I'm lost and I don't know where I am, or I don't feel good, or my mom and dad are sick. And that's going to tell them that they need to start getting either the police, the ambulance, or the fire department rolling as quickly as possible. But we don't know where you live. So what we need you to do is you guys all need to go home and try to memorize or have written next to your phone what your address is. Because we're going to need to know your address, the type of emergency, and also your phone number. Because how many people have ever talked on a cell phone and it just turns off? Right? You get a drop signal. Well, we need to be able to get and call you back. So now if you're at home, how many people have a phone that still plugs into the wall? So if you guys have a phone at home that plugs into the wall, that's the first phone you should use unless your house is on fire and it's not safe to be there. Because what that does, as soon as you pick up that phone and dial 911, our computers automatically know where you're calling from. If you call from a cell phone, we don't know where it's coming from, okay? Your cell phone could be in your house, you could be on the freeway, you could be in New York, you can be in South Africa. We don't know where you're calling from, but if you call from your home on the phone that's plugged into the wall, and if you don't have a phone that plugs into the wall, get one, and if you plug it into the wall, it'll automatically work for 911. You don't have to pay for it. It is automatically free, so make sure you tell your parents you should always have one phone that plugs into the wall. That's the safest way to get us coming as quickly as possible. If you're using a cell phone, and you're not sure where you are, what we want you to do is we want you to try to tell us the closest street, or maybe if you're in front of a business, we want you to tell us the business name, or if there's an adult nearby, maybe you can hand them the phone and they can tell us where you are and what the emergency is, because we just want to make sure we get there as quickly as possible. So I think, okay, so if you call 911, what's the first person that might come? The police officer? Do you have any police officers in the house? So the police are here, right? So they're going to come if you call 911. Now, who else can we get? The fire department. Are there any firefighters here today? All right. Now, what's the last thing? What are we missing? The ambulance. And the ambulance are the ones that are going to take us to the hospital if we're sick. Are there any ambulance people here? So remember, if you call 911, the police are going to come, the fire department's going to come, they're going to make you better, and then the ambulance are going to make you better, and they're going to take you to the hospital and see the doctors, okay? So these are all the people that are going to come when you call 911.
Okay. Let's go ahead and flip those cards. Everyone, put up 8 fingers. This is skill number 8, the last skill. This one might be the most important skill we taught you here. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out in just a little bit. Okay, what skill number 8 is helmet safety. Okay, how to wear your helmet properly. And what our card up here says is protect your head, because helmets do and they can save your life. Okay, so that's the good news. And this is another law that's been put into place to keep us safe. If you're under 18, you must wear a helmet. That's the law. Okay, so just because it's the law and people put them on doesn't mean they wear them properly. So we need to make sure we know how to put them on properly. So you can see in my picture here, sometimes they're too far forward, sometimes they're too far back. And those are not going to protect your head when they fit you this way. Okay, they need to be just like this picture. They need to be level on your head, they need to be secure, and they need to be snug. Okay, you don't want to buy a helmet that you're going to fit in 5 years from now. That's not going to help you. Your helmet needs to fit your head right now. And as you grow, yes, you're going to need more helmets throughout your life. Okay, so that's the good news is helmets protect our head. Okay, but the bad news is, again, people don't put them on properly. So what I need is I need a helper. Can you help me? Come on up.
Help you second.
It's okay. Come on up. You don't want to? Okay, come on up. You. Yep.
I want to.
What's your name? Aaron. Okay, Aaron is going to help us out. Come on over here, Aaron. Aaron, actually, let's step on up here so the kids behind you. You know what? Andrew,
Right.
We're actually supposed to be teaching them how to put it on properly.
Yep.
No, just because it's on your head doesn't mean that that's how it's going to fit.
No?
No.
Oh.
There's actually a front and a back, and that's the back.
Isn't the back where it's at?
No.
Oh.
Well, when you're in the car, yes,
Ah,
but not
okay.
when you're riding a bike.
All
Okay.
right, let's do this. I want to learn
So
too.
we need some help here. Okay, so how do we know a helmet is level? You guys, it's very simple. I want you everyone to take 2 fingers just like this. And I want you to put that right over your eyebrow. So take those 2 fingers. Now your helmet should come to the near or to the top of your fingers. That's how you know it's level. Okay? Take those same 2 fingers and make a V. Make a V with your other. These represent the straps of the helmet. Put them one in front and one behind your ear. Okay? You can see here if he turns his head and move your hand down. You have one strap here, one strap here. They need to go in front and behind your ear. Now, the next thing you need to do is, we need to adjust this because it was a little, okay, is I want everyone to say click. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So when you say click, then I want you to put one finger between the chin strap and your chin and say ah. Can you feel that? Yeah. Put it right between here. There you go. Say ah. Okay, can you feel your finger? Now, this is how you know it's snug enough. You don't want it so tight you can't talk. Okay? But then sometimes we see it's almost too loose. We see it snapped or buckled, and the buckle's hanging way down here, swaying when you ride your bike. That's not going to help you, because if you get hit by a car, that helmet's going to fly right off your head. It needs to be snug. Okay? So it needs to be level, secure, and snug. So I think you have your helmet on ready, right? Yes? Think he's ready?
I think he's ready.
All right, so what I want you to do, let's start down here because I don't want you getting hurt. This is yours? All right, cool. I want you to take this scooter and ride all the way in the back. Everyone wave bye-bye. Okay, so we just taught you 8 different skills. We need to follow up and put these last 2 scarves in our magic bag. Let's see, somebody right up in front. Come on up. What's your name? Mackenzie? Okay, Mackenzie. Let me get this out of the way here. All right, Mackenzie, let's put your magic hat on. Face your audience. Need your magic wand. Okay, Mackenzie. So now we already have 6 scarves in here, yes? Okay, now we need to put the last 2 scarves, and the white one is skill number 7. What number do we dial in an emergency?
911.
Excellent, 911. It's available to you all day long. Okay, put that in there. And now our last skill was helmet safety, and you need to make sure your helmet's level, right? So you put 2 fingers above your eyebrows, 1 strap goes in front and behind your ear, and what do you say here? What do you do down here?
Click.
Click, and everyone say, ah. Okay, very good. Put that purple in our bag. Wave that magic wand, say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time
Now it's time.
for a super funny jokey.
Now it's time for a super funny joke.
Okay, do you have a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta say it loud so everyone can hear it.
What do you call a cat when it's funny?
What do you call a cat when it's funny? I don't know. What do you call it?
A funny cat.
A funny cat. Let's give her a hand. All right. Now we just taught you 8 skills. Let's do a very quick review and then we'll figure out which one is the most important one we taught you here today. So everyone, touch your shirt, touch your pants, your hair. If any of this catches on fire, what are we going to do? Very good. Skill number 2, matches and lighters. They are tools, not toys. What are we going to do if we find them? Okay, tell an adult or give them to an adult. Very good. Skill number 3, every time we get into a vehicle, we must buckle up. That's the law. Okay, it goes over your shoulder and then down low on your hips. Make sure it's snug. Where's the safest seat for you? In the back. Very good. Skill number 4, we got to be safe when we cross the street. Okay, so before we cross the street, what do we need to do? Let's do this together. Look left, look right, look left again. And then when you go into the street, keep your head up so you can be aware. Very good. Number 5 was smoke alarms. They save lives every day in this country. So we need to make sure we maintain them. So how often do we test them? Once a month with a broom. Go on and show your parents when you go home today how to do that. And how often should we test them? Change the battery. Once a year. Very good. Okay. Skill number 6 are the next 3 cards, is how to get out of your house if it catches on fire. There's going to be lots of smoke. Are you going to run out or crawl out? Crawl out. How many exits do you need out of every room? 2. Very good. And what do you need in the front yard? A meeting place. Very good. Skill number 7. What number do we dial in an emergency? 911. And then the last skill is helmet safety. Do you need to wear a helmet just some of the time or all the time? All the time. Everyone, let's make sure it's level and it's snug with the straps in front and behind your ear. And everyone say click. Click. Ah. Okay. Very good. Okay, so now we have 8 different scarves in our bag. And I told you at the very beginning that somebody was going to have a hold on, hands down, that somebody was going to have a really important job of coming up here and doing some magic and picking out the scarf that represents the most important skill. And I think the best person for the job is Miss Vonderbond. What do you think? Let's give her a hand. Where's she at? Come on up. Do you need a joke? Okay, so you can hold this and kind of peruse it. Okay, so you need your magic hat. Can I put the hat on you? All right. I know, doesn't she look great? Okay, so we want to do some magic here. Okay, so we're going to wave that magic wand, say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Now it's time.
Now it's time.
For the very last jokey.
The very last jokey.
Okay.
Knock, knock, knock. Ash? Ash. Bless you.
Ashu. Get it? Ashu. Okay. Okay. So now, now, what she's going to do is she's going to reach into her bag and just pick out one scarf, and that's going to represent the most important skill that we taught you here this afternoon. Oh, wait a second.
What's going on?
Miss Vonderbond, I think we were just supposed to just pick out one scarf, but look at, they're all tied together. So, now, she was just supposed to pick out one scarf that represented the most important skill, but they all came out. What does that mean? Are all of them are important? Oh, all right, let's give her a hand. Excellent job. All right. Los Gatos Christian School, you guys were an excellent audience. this afternoon. We're a very big audience, and you were awesome, so thank you. Teachers, thank you for giving us your students for this last hour so we can educate them on safety. And Ms. Vonderbond, thank you for allowing us to come on campus so we can do this. Students, please share this information with your friends and your family who weren't here today, because we really want all of you to be safe, okay? Give yourselves a hand. Excellent job.